Hello, I'm John Benton.
And I'm Austin Tuchko.
And this is JMJ News.
Today there's been major concerns in the Boreal forest about the decreasing numbers of wildlife. For those of you that don't know what the Boreal forest is, it's a forest found in only 3 places on Earth: Canada, Russia, and American state, Alaska. The Boreal forest is a biome characterized by coniferous forests consisting mostly of pines, spruces, and larches. The taiga, which is another word for the Boreal forest, is the world's largest terrestrial biome.
Now to Julian for more information.
In the Boreal forest, some negative human influences is hunting. Killing the animals in the Boreal forest can lead to endangered species and possibly extinct species. If some animals are hunted too much, their prey species could increase, and the amount of food the prey eats could decrease, and they can become extinct as well. The Siberian tiger, for example, is almost extinct due to poachers hunting for its incredible coat. Brown bears have seen a large decline due to hunting, and so have many other large mammals like the wolf, cougar, caribou, and moose. Back to you, John.
Predation is in every ecosystem all over the world. Predation is when two organisms interact with one another as a prey and as a predator. Just a few of the many examples of predation in the Boreal forest is a spruce grouse eating its prey, the snail. Another example of predation is the bobcat eating the rabbit. Finally, the last example is a gray wolf eating rabbits and small birds. Animals in all environments react together in a way called symbiosis. Symbiosis is when different species of animals interact with one another. There are 3 ways that animals react with each other: mutualism, commensalism, and parasitism. Mutualism is when 2 species help each other and they both benefit. An example of this is algae and fungi. The fungi decomposes animals, which puts nutrients back into the earth. Algae returns a favor by providing photosynthesized food for the fungi. Another example is a blue jay nesting on a fir tree. The blue jay defends the tree from acrobat ants, while the tree is giving the blue jay a shelter. Next, commensalism is when the one species benefits, while the other is neither harmed nor helped. One example of this is when moss grows on a white birch. The moss has a cool place to live, while the white birch is neither harmed nor helped. Another example of this is when songbirds nest on spruce trees. Songbirds have a nice place to live, while spruce trees are neither helped nor harmed. Finally, parasitism is when one organism is benefited while the other is harmed. One example of this is when winter ticks suck the blood from moose. The winter tick gains food and a free ride, while the moose is harmed. The last example is when forest tent caterpillars eat the leaves off the alder plant. The forest tent caterpillar gets food, but the alder plant is eaten, so it's obviously harmed.
And now to Kelly for negative human influences.
Another negative effect of human influence is hydroelectric power generation. It causes flooding in rivers and waterways and damages vast areas of forests, valleys, and swamps. There is an increasing threat to Canada's central boreal region, with major developments being planned or considered in Manitoba and in Quebec. That's on top of the massive installations both of those provinces already have. Ontario may be less invested in hydro than our immediate neighbors, but many small, medium, and larger projects are envisioned as the province's energy demand soars and the government's promise to shut down coal-fired generation plants is implemented. Like so many industrial activities, the impacts of hydro development go far beyond the local sites. Massive transmission corridors with supporting road networks further fragment habitats across thousands of kilometers. Perhaps the biggest current hydroelectric threat on Ontario's northern boreal is from outside the province's borders. A proposed new project in Manitoba could lead to the construction of a massive transmission corridor through the heart of both provinces' frontier boreal forest. It's not too late. We can still ensure that the wilds of the northern boreal forest remain healthy and productive for the billions of birds that depend on them. Back to you, Austin.
The government and other organizations are trying their best to preserve the Boreal forest. And now to Margo for more information.
Yes, Austin, the government is enforcing stricter laws for the forest. Since 94% of Canadian forests are publicly owned, it is easier to protect the land and keep it clean. National and provincial parks hold most of the forest protected lands, so they are well kept. But the people also have to help too. All you have to do is raise awareness and do whatever you can to help the cause. And here are some organizations willing to help. Alliance for Boreal, Forest Stewardship Council, International Union for Conservation of Nature, and the Canadian Boreal Forest Agreement. Now back to the studio.
Thank you, Margot. And that's all for today, and we hope to see you next time on JMJ News.
Predation is in every ecosystem.
I'm so stupid.
Ecosystem all over the world. Predation is when two organisms interact with one another.
You scared
Eating its prey, the snail. Another example of predation is the bobcat eating the rabbit. Finally, the last example is a gray wolf eating rabbits and small birds. Animals in all environments react together in a way called symbiosis. Symbiosis? Are you serious?
Drink your coffee.